The council will come to order. All rise and salute the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing for a moment of silence in honor of our veterans, servicemen and women, and those who have given the ultimate sacrifice. Clerk will call the roll. Oh, hold on. Councilor Anderson.
Thank you, Madam President. Can I ask us to please stand for another moment of silence? Our compliance official, Dave Morse, his sister passed away. Nancy Barboto is her name. I've known her since I was born, I think. I've known her longer than most of you have been alive, and she passed away after struggling for the last few years. I went to the wake earlier this evening, and Nancy grew up here in Malden, since has moved on to Danvers, where she was living with her family over the last number of years. But she was a wonderful person and a longtime friend of mine, and certainly the other piece is that she's the sister of our person, David Morris, and I would just like to offer just a moment of silence on behalf of her. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Clerk will call the roll.
Anderson.
Here.
Kamel.
Here.
Condon.
Here.
Crow.
Here.
DeMaria. Here. Matheson. Murphy. O'Malley.
Here.
Spatafora.
Here.
Winslow.
Here.
Sika.
Here. Under the provisions of the open meeting law, for those of you in attendance, please be aware that MATV, along with resident John Mayara, is recording this evening's meeting. Again, there will be audio and video recording of this meeting. First order of business.
James O'Brien and Steve Farma will appear before the council to discuss the residential tax abatement.
Good evening, folks.
Good evening.
If you will, I'd like to just give a little overview of the program. I can tell you that I think what maybe prompted us here this evening is one of the councilors had reached out a few weeks ago, and I think there was some concern about the program and as to whether it's being handled efficiently. More importantly, that some folks that maybe aren't entitled to the exemption are in fact getting it. So a little history. The program started here in Malden in 2008 for the first time. And that first year was challenging because it was the very first year. So we did a mass mailing to all the residential properties, which would have been about 12,500. Folks responded, and we then utilized, and then with that mailing, there was an application and a brief letter explaining the program. When the folks responded, we used another data source to verify, and that primary source that we used was the city clerk's poll book, which, it's my understanding, you verify residency through that document, through that source. So we thought it was key, tied to the program that we were dealing with. So if I could, I'm going to hand out something to each of you. Was there an extra over there, Dave?
Is it one page?
Just one page, yes. So if you look to the far right column, that's a summary of the last 12 years. And what we're showing you there is the number of residential properties, followed by the number that got it for that particular year, and then just a percentage calculation. And if you go down the list, I think you see tremendous consistency in the neighborhood of 67, 68% each year getting it. Whether that means something or not, I don't know, but our data seems to be the same each year as we administer this. What do we deal with each year? Again, the first year was the challenge because it was brand new. What we deal with each year subsequent to that is we do that same mailing to new property owners. We use the filing of a deed that triggers that. It's all predicated on who owns the property on January 1. So those deeds that are filed predate that. So like right now, we're in fiscal year 2020. The properties that are eligible for the exemption